Hi, beautiful love. Welcome to day one of Moon Opulence, Femme Business Energetics. So this is really dear to my heart. I'm like, hi, Tara, welcome. Hi, Jen, welcome. Hi, Elizabeth, welcome. Okay, loves. So today is day one, and we are talking about brand energetics. And at 2:22 p.m. today, we're going to have a special guest, Alize. She has done designs for Coco Chanel, which is super exciting. So she's going to be on a live at 2:22. So this will be our portion. I'm going to close out, and then we're going to bring her on at 2:22. So it'll be fun. Of course, you can catch the replay. If you haven't signed up yet, make sure you sign up so you can have access to the replay. Yay! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, loves. So I feel when you think about your brand, why am I so excited about this? This is my year of transforming fear into love, and it's so subtle, and I don't think it was something that I was ever truly conscious of. I think I was teaching about love since 2008, but now I have such a bigger bandwidth and awareness of what that actually feels like in your body. Okay, so let's start with some nice deep breaths just to ground in. Bring your grounding cord down into the center of the earth. Feel celestial energy lining up. Lunar moon energy on the left, solar sun energy on the right. Feel tuned into your higher self, your highest self. So I am here to support you to have that activation, but the clarity and the creation, it's going to come directly from your guides, directly from your highest essence, and I am kind of like a catalyst to remind you of your own power. So take some nice deep breaths, feel your own love turning on, and feel the love for your business. Feel the love for what you're creating. So whether you are, you're working for yourself or you're working within corporate or you're inside of a business, either way, this is like what you do for a living. It's you as a creator being. What are you creating on the planet? So tune into that sensation and feel this core energy of light. Feel this golden light running through your central column. Feel this platinum liquid light running through your central column. And just clean out any doubts, fears, old stories, things that aren't going to be serving you. And feel yourself create a brand new blank canvas. Today gets to be a brand new day. It gets to be a brand new story. Nice. Okay, let's take a deep inhale. Hold the breath. And exhale. One more deep inhale. Hold the breath. And exhale. And on this last inhale, ask your guides to bring in all the aligned information for you. I might say something that reminds you of your own truth, or I might say something that really lights you up and you would like to do yourself as well. So breathe into that. Okay, last inhale. Hold the breath like you're wishing on a star, and exhale. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so what I love about the brand is it's actually your heart translated into physical reality. So what makes a brand kind of wonky sometimes is that inconsistency of self-love. And we hear about self-love a lot. So it's not a mental thought, I'm thinking that I love myself. It is actually your heart energy radiating, opening, and your meridian system opening, and how safe you feel to allow your full expression to come through. So what's really fascinating and interesting is that as you allow your heart to open, you're going to have new people come in that actually help you with the branding. And I'm seeing this unfold in front of my eyes, as I'm teaching this class. It's like my heart's getting bigger. I'm feeling even more safety, even more trust. And then new brand artists are coming in. So it's super exciting. Okay, so again, think about your business, think about your brand, and think about your heart, and think about you have a story. One, you have a story that you want to share. Two, you have a heart radiance. You came to the planet for a specific reason. Your soul has a certain energy nutrient that is the role that you play on the planet. So even if you're a real estate agent, this also works because people really buy your essence. They can feel your essence. So there's the on brand, like there's like the social media brand, but there's also like off social media. There's like when you're not on social media, that brand too. So how do you let more people feel your brand through you being yourself in your everyday life and through your social media? You're gonna notice within your body that in a single day, you might be in your most loving state certain times of the day. I'm like, hi, Christina. You might be in your most loving state certain times of the day and your most power identity. And then you might see yourself kind of like shut down sometimes. So what we want to do is we want to find this consistency all across the board as much as possible, because a lot of this is identity work, right? So you have your social media presence. That's a certain message being emanated out. And then you also have your body. When you're not on social media, what are you radiating out, right? So we want to create this consistency and this congruency. So notice like in your body, there's a portal of light. When you're in love, you feel like amazing and you feel like, whoa, I could be friends with anyone. I could have any kind of conversation. That sensation, that translating into your brand, that is like honey, and it allows like, at first I was gonna say ants coming to you, but it's like you are a flower and bees coming to you, right? So essentially you're a flower, and then your social media is that expression as well. Okay, so we're gonna come to number 1, which is the story, your brand story. And your brand story is a story for the collective. It adds to the collective, right? When you share your story, it actually awakens the collective. The collective is like mass conscious. It's like the rest of the people. It's the collective consciousness. So you have a really powerful story. And I'm going to use an example of one of my clients. I know she's going to kind of recognize it, but your brand story might be like, okay, you came from a lineage of healers, and this lineage of healers, and then you have been wanting to be this healer, but you had to move through these obstacles. That could be like a brand story. Someone else is going to hear that and they're going to resonate with that, right? Your brand story could be, that your brothers were super famous and you had to work through that. And then now you're coming out with your own signature brand. So your soul, sorry, my dogs are going to be like a little bit silly. But your soul came onto the planet and gave you the perfect story for your brand. And you get to pick, what is your favorite story? What's your favorite story that you get to share with the collective over and over again? And you get to see like this story is like really inspiring, right? The moment someone observes or listens to this story, they're going to be like, whoa, that's stuck in my mind. Like when I think of that person, that's what I think about, right? So pick the story that you love the most, and as you evolve through your business creation world, you can kind of shift into different brand stories, right? So one funny brand story is like Blossom Dog. I'm like, hi, Tina. Blossom Dog is a brand that me and my friend Jessie, the pups are excited about our stories. They're so cute. So Blossom Dog would be a brand that I kind of want to create next year, but I'm already collecting stories for it. Like yesterday I was at the coffee shop and I ran into a woman that said she was working with a dog that was like 3rd generation dog therapist, or a 3rd generation therapy dog, and was telling me how amazing this dog was and all these things. So the thing is, stories really stick into people's minds. Yesterday I shared one part of my brand story where I was like, I used to have acne all over my face, my chest, my back. I was super type A and I had to get everything perfect. I'd stay up till like 3 or 4 a.m. and I would sacrifice my physical body for success. So part of my brand story is that I don't want to do that anymore. Like I don't want to go down the stress route for success. And I have broken down so many different codes to understand how to have more ease and more play and not like, get crazy and force yourself to make something perfect. So that's kind of like my brand story. And but when you tell stories, it really stays in someone's mind. You want to find your favorite one. What is the story that's going to kind of light your body up where every time you talk about it, you're like, yes, that's so rad? And what is the story that is going to light your client up? And now this is like, so over time, I've had to shift my brand story a lot because for the longest time I was in the healer mode. So I would talk about like, oh yeah, I've had clients with like brain tumors that spontaneously dissolved more than once, like a few times. Or so if that was the predominant conversation, that's not going to light up the specific client that is for you. Now, if you start to shift into like, oh, you want to work with entrepreneurs, what's the exact story that's going to light them up? That might be the story of, I had a client that like didn't have a lot of sales for a year, worked together and started hitting her $100,000 months. That might be a client that's going to light up that new conversation. So as you evolve, you may notice that there is a different brand story. And I'm going to give you permission to change your brand story when you're out at dinner, because you might meet a person and you might realize like, oh, well, what they need is different, but you still have the tools for them. Just allow yourself to be a dynamic being. It's like you have several skill sets. And I think sometimes we try to niche down so much that you may miss like certain opportunities. So, but just make sure it's something that lights you up, right? So go through your life timeline, pick out the stories, notice like, it's like your Shiro's journey, right? Which story is your Shiro's journey that's going to resonate and connect with your dream client? And how can you get excited about kind of sharing that same story in a different way, like over and over again? So that is one. But notice what happens in the collective when you share your story. They're going to be like, I heard this story. That's possible. If that's possible for her, that's possible for me. And that begins to create this ripple effect, right? That begins to create a ripple effect of, oh, this happened for this person. Oh my gosh, this could happen for us. This could happen for us, right? And then that energy begins to get big and radiate. And then there's a ripple effect. And more people begin to share your brand story because they're inspired by it. They're like excited about it. They're like, did you know that this girl did that? Did you know that that guy did that? Like, that's possible. Hey, if that person can do that, does that mean we can do that? And then that begins to be like this new sound vibration, this new sound current, this new song. And that's your business radiating out. So it starts with your brand story, starts with that message, and then it starts to get bigger and bigger. And people start to get excited about it, and then the belief system in the collective strengthens. So that's number one, is the story. And then number two is the on and off stage brand energetics. I can't tell you how many clients I've worked with where when they're on social media, they're in their high power identity. And then the moment they get off, they're like, they're not all in. They're not all in. And when you get off of social media, your clients are still feeling you. Your clients are like a butterfly on the wall. They can feel the actions that you're taking, the foods that you're eating, like they can feel all of that. So how can you, even when you're off stage, begin to, and I'm not talking about perfectionism, I'm just talking about your energy. So for instance, your house could be really messy. Your house could be wildly messy, but your heart is lit. Your heart is lit up. You're like, okay, this is messy. This is great. I'm still going to organize. It's not like, okay, now your life has to be picture perfect because your social media is perfect. That's not what I'm saying. I just mean when you're on social media, there's a certain level of energy and presence that you bring to the table. How do you bring that same level of presence and energy to your friendships, your connections, your one-on-one relationships, like off stage? How do you bring that energy when you're off stage? Then you're going to have this stronger vibrational match, and your brand frequency can be felt more easily. Okay, so that was 1, 2. Number 3 is the characters in your universe. So who are the really fun clients that you want to bring into your life, right? So when you have a conversation, there is a vibrational energetic match that comes in. So your predominant conversation, your conversation is going to attract specific people. So if you can think about what you're speaking about, right? So potentially like, a new brand story like that I might start to play with is how I had a client that's wanted to start a YouTube channel for so long, and we only worked together for a couple weeks, and now she's ready to do her YouTube channel, right? That might be just like a little bit of like this awareness of, okay, like I work with clients when they have a hard time creating something, and I can help them speed it up so they feel faster about doing it. So then the someone that wants to create a YouTube channel is really, really different than somebody who wants to receive healing, is really, really different than someone who wants to fall in love, is really, really different than, right? So who are you speaking to? It's like, if you knew that the buffet of life, everything was available, are you sending out the right signals? Are you telling them the right stories to attract the people that you genuinely want to attract into your life? So just ask yourself, like, if you were that character, if you were your own dream client, would you be excited about the story that you're telling? Like, just take a moment, listen to your own brand story, and notice, are you excited about it? Like, is the version of you excited? Like, if you feel like you'd be excited about it, then most likely your client's going to be excited about it too. And that's how you can fine tune and adjust it. You can put yourself into your client's shoes. Imagine you are your client and you're like, okay, like I heard that story. Is that going to inspire me to want to take action? Or is that like, that doesn't make me feel anything? If it doesn't make you feel anything, you can keep fine tuning your brand story until it makes you feel something. So you're like, oh my God, that really made me feel something, and I want to take action now. That emotional movement will start to happen in your system, right? And so it gets kind of fun and easy when you think about it's just this game of magnetism. It's like you have some beautiful solution for someone else, and they're looking for the solution. They're actively looking for something, and you have it, and you're like, hey, this is what I have. And then they're like, oh, you have that? That's amazing, right? And it's just like, it can be as simple as that, as like, I'm bringing my strawberries to the farmer's market. Here they are. And then someone's like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for those exact berries. Amazing. Okay. So number 4 is the stage. Now, like, imagine, I love that these are just like coming to me. Imagine you loved this hairstylist, but you thought that this hairstylist, like, her salon was like a little dingy. I'm like, Kevin's like, strawberry salon looks so good right now. And so imagine you had a hairstylist and you're like, yeah, but her space is like kind of dingy. And it's like, she wants to go see you, but she's like, but your space is like a little dingy. So you want to make sure that your environment also attracts your dream client. Your environment could be the layout of your social media, which I'm working on now. But the layout of your social media, of your Instagram grid, does it feel calming and warm and inviting? And does it give off the sense of like, wow, this person's like, I feel really peaceful when I see this person. And it's so funny because my friend just was like, she's amazing at this. And, I'm in the process of evolving, and I'm sharing it with you as I evolve. But she started to take off all of my videos because I had just had, it was really more out of laziness. I was like, I'm just going to post videos. And like, I wasn't tending to the grid. So you want to tend to your grid, make sure your grid is like beautiful. So someone could be like, oh my gosh, like I love how powerful her work is, and I love that it's a beautiful environment. That beautiful environment could be, like I said, your social media grid. It could be the way that your highlights are laid out. It could be your actual physical healing space, if you have a physical healing space. But people like amazing environments, right? So you get the story correct. That's strong, that's clear. But you also want to make sure, is it an environment that they want to hang out in? Is it like a place that they're like, yeah, I like actually totally love this, and I want to hang out here and I feel good here. Another aspect to the environment is, what's the energy that you radiate? When you radiate a certain energy, people feel that. And then they just want to be around that. And that can be something that you can feel into in your environment as well. So feel into that. That's the stage. The stage is the environment. So think about your business has a stage, right? The stage is either your physical location, it's your online presence, it's the way that you deliver a product, it's your social media. Like all of these are environments, right? And is your environment an energetic match to your client? Because your client might be like, man, I'm really space sensitive and I need like beautiful spaces. Like, yes, I see you as an amazing coach, but I also want to make sure that I love the environment that I'm in, right? So feel into that, feel into those energies. Okay, so we have the characters, who you're attracting into your business. We have the stage, the environment that we're creating. And then number 5 is the emotions. So when you read Power versus Force by David Hawkins, you start to see this frequency chart. And 200 is courage. So courage and above, you're in creation mode. Anything below courage, shame, guilt, embarrassment, all kind of goes into the destructive forces. So it's a release, it's a letting go of some sort. So if you can hang out at courage, you can hang out at acceptance, love, you can hang out at joy. When you can be in those higher frequencies when your business is on, that creates more of a creation force field. That becomes an energy nutrient for your client. When you feel magical and incredible when you write an email, when you feel that vibration of energy, when you make a post, when you write, when you take a photo, when you post on social media, when you like that energy is actually transmitted into the thing that you're creating and it can be felt. And your characters, your clients, they will feel like there is an energy boost here. This is an energy nutrient. I desire this energy nutrient. I love it. So notice when you're texting someone, I don't know if you felt this, but I can actually feel when someone is texting me with fear. If there's like fear or something that comes through, I can feel that. And I can also feel when someone is messaging me with love. And this has been really new, but when someone messages me with love, I can feel my chakras spinning. And here, like, hi Christina, I love that. Christina says energy nutrient. So what happens, okay, so stay with me here. If you're, for instance, my brand is blissed out. It's about bliss. Now, versions of me drop the vibe, in the past at least, you know, I've been working on it a lot, would drop the vibe the moment sales came in. So then I'm incongruent with my own brand. Now, when I make incredibly large sales is when I can stay in bliss. I feel bliss when I'm making the sale. So my congruency is the practice of the bliss body. My congruency is the practice of staying in bliss, which is not, you know, some days it's really easy and other days it's like, it's a little bit of a workout, you know. And so to stay on brand, on that brand frequency, it's like you send a payment link with that love or your brand essence, whatever that is, right? If you have a client that like defaulted on a payment, I send those emails with love. I don't send like, hey, you need to pay this, blah, blah. I'm like, no, hi, I'm just saying a hello, just letting you know this needs to be updated and sending you love. So this is a practice, right? This is like, so notice all the different aspects of you. There's a brand essence, there's a brand energy. So that brand energy goes into your emails, it goes into your texts, it goes into your social media, it goes into like all the different aspects of you. And that also begins to like radiate into your home space. That brand energy begins to radiate into your home space. And I see Lotus on here. Lotus and me are creating a amazing program to update your space. So it's called Lotus and Blossom, a lifestyle. So if you want details on that to actually brand energize your own space, your physical home space, let me know. Okay, so number one, we had the story. Get so excited about your story. Make sure your story is like a flower that would attract the right bees, right? Your story has conversations and exciting moments that would light up your exact dream client. Your dream client is gonna read that brand story and be like, oh my gosh, that's so inspiring. I love that brand story. And she's gonna feel so excited about it. And when you have a good brand story, it can be pretty short, right? It's like in a couple sentences, this person's going to hear that brand story and be able to share it with all of their friends. Okay, number one, the brand story. And again, if you stay on till 2:22 p.m., Alize is going to be on here. She has done designs for Coco Chanel, which is very exciting. And she's going to elaborate on the story, on your story and message. So number two is the on and the off stage brand energy. So again, like I had so many clients that would be like, they'd be super excited online. And the moment the camera was off, they're like in doubt. And so then you don't create enough energetic momentum of your actual brand essence. So imagine like you sent out a signal. You sent out a signal and you're like, I'm on social media for this 1 hour. I'm going to send out this signal. And then you're like, oh, it's off now. So I'm going to go do everything else. And the things that you did weren't congruent with the thing that you said here. Then you're creating some incongruency, right? And again, this is a workout. You keep working out until when you're offline, you're like more of a match to that online version of you. And that takes time, right? But the thing is just knowing that you are exercising that for yourself. Okay, amazing. Number 6 is there's a pattern. If you can create a brand pattern, which means there's something unique about you that you create over and over again, it kind of creates like a sense of calmness for this person, a sense of safety, a sense of consistency, a sense of momentum. And they're like, I can always expect this to come from this person. And that's like going to your favorite movie theater, right? I love going to this movie theater because I know I'm gonna feel like it's classy. I know it's gonna be clean. I know that the service is amazing. So they always come to this movie theater, right? Or your favorite restaurants. Like I know that when I go to this restaurant, I can expect this quality of food. I can expect this quality of service. And I love going to this restaurant, right? So that's like the same consistency for your brand energy, right? So it's like, what is it that your clients can consistently come to and be like, oh my gosh, like every time I want to feel this certain sensation, I come to your social media and I feel this. And that begins to create this like energetic momentum. And then people begin to share your things. They're like, hey, like every time I watch this person, I feel like this. Like you may really, really like this. You may also love to feel like this, right? And then that brand story, that brand energy, that brand radiance begins to kind of like radiate out. Now, what's fun is we can play in the human design realm and the Gene Keys realm. And Gene Keys actually has like an actual brand sphere and for mine, it's impatience, patience to timelessness. Now, how did I translate that into bliss? It's like when I'm impatient with something, I can feel my nervous system contracting. And when I just pause and I feel like everything's happening exactly the way it's supposed to, I go into that Gene Keys of gift. It's like the gift frequency of patience. And then when I get into my higher cities, I realize like it's just timeless. We are eternal beings, timelessness. Like we're here to just play. We're here to experience. We're here to explore. There's no like start or finish. It's just forever flow. And when I get into that to me turns on a kind of bliss. And when I say bliss, it's not like this, oh my gosh, like ecstatic, like hyper high happy. It's more like I feel like peppermint in my arms. I feel like my whole chakra system is flowing. I feel like I'm just like in connection with life. And so that's the brand essence. And it's my practice to stay in that frequency so that that is the energy that I transmit to my clients. That's the energy that I transmit in my social media and all those things. So at the end of the day, it actually gets to be pretty easy what your job is. Your job is to feel how your clients want to feel. So, because then you become the solution. When you feel the way that your clients want to feel, they may not be feeling that, you are already feeling that. That creates this magnetism. That's your brand essence. Anytime they come to you, you're that energy nutrient to remind them this is what that feeling feels like. Hey, remember, you can feel this too. Remember, this is what your feeling feels like. And there's this kind of calibration that happens. You're calibrated to that frequency. They vibe in next to you, and then they calibrate to that frequency, and that frequency rises up. So that tends to make your social media and your branding a little bit easier. Because when you can feel that sensation, when you know in the morning, your main thing is to get that sensation going. Okay, so we're gonna elaborate on this number 5, the emotions. How do you get into those really good feeling emotions? Everyone's a little bit different. I'll just share my practices. So, it really evolves. So I feel like your morning time is your frequency tune-up time. And there have been times when this morning frequency tune-up time for me was just meditation, just mantras. And then I evolved into it needed to be movement. I had to walk and think of my affirmations. And then I've also had, okay, so let's break it down. Whether you choose to wake up, the very first thing you do is meditate. You start to visualize your things already happening, and you get your body into that very excited state of like, oh my gosh, this is all happening today. That's a possibility. Another option would be you walk on, you go for a walk, you go for a jog, and you think about the things that you're creating, and you get excited about it. And so you add movement and you add thought. You're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so awesome. That energy, this new gene expression begins to turn on. Another way is you just journal. You write about, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to be creating this. I'm going to be creating this. I'm so excited. And, sorry, that's Toji, my puppy. And you get this, you tune up your own frequency. So then your whole system begins to calibrate into a day that is aligning you with the life that you want. And it's aligning you with your brand energy. So the faster you can learn to get there. So of course, I love hearing these morning ideas for energy alignment. Yeah, exactly. So like I said, sometimes you need a softer practice, but other times you need, I found when I'm a generator with a sacral authority. So I find when I move my whole body and I have the affirmations running through my whole body, I get much better results that day. And then if I'm journaling and I'm writing with music, and when I journal, I'm not writing about my past. I'm writing about my future's already happened. I'm writing about, this is so exciting. This is happening for me. I'm receiving these new clients. They're having so much fun. Elizabeth said, record morning audio or video. Yes. Oop. Do you mean for me too? Or do you mean, because I could read that a couple ways? When I read that, I also think it's also really powerful for you to record your own voice when you're in your power state. So when you're in your power state, you could record your voice. So when you feel like you're in those moments when you're like, this is my brand essence, I feel it. When you feel that, make a recording of yourself and then speak about the things that you want to create and listen to that. You can listen to that in the morning and listen to it at night. For me, I don't love journaling. Yes. So some people hate journaling. I have clients that are like, I refuse to journal. I will not. And that's totally fine. So for me, journaling has been my most powerful transformative thing, which is so wild. But for some people, it's really, really hard. So if you really hate it, I would say either give it a try and exercise it like you're working out, Oh my gosh, so funny. She said because she's a writer. You could type it. You could also type journaling. But what you want to do is you want to be so obsessed about your new thoughts. Most of our brains are like recorders. We're like literally like, hey, remember what happened last week? Hey, remember? It's so funny because someone will ask me, and they're like, what'd you do last week? And I'm like, dang it, I'm so present now. I kind of don't even remember. Because I stay in the present moment so much. Like that's my practice, like present moment. And then, unless I'm doing some healing work, of course, I'll like tap into past energies and things. But for the predominant conversations in my mind, I'm very future oriented. I'm very like speaking about like, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. My next book's going to come out and I'm creating this new program and like these clients are getting this result. I'm already forecasting for my clients like their new results because I say it to myself so that I see them in their new light. I'm not holding on to past versions of them. But I love this idea of telling myself the story of the day. I'm like, hi, Erin, welcome. So, number 1 was the story. Get clear on your brand energy story. Number 2 is the on-off stage brand energetics. Number 3 is the characters. I would also say fall in love. Fall in love with every single part of your business. If there's some part of your business that you're like, I absolutely hate doing that. That's not fun. I would break down the thoughts. Why is it not fun? Why are you having an aversion to this? And how can you fall in love with it? A fun practice is sometimes I just decide whatever this is, it's just gold light. You'll notice your brain creates this is good, bad, right, wrong. And if you can just soften it and you're like, whatever this is just gold light and it's just love. So if it's like taxes you need to move through, you're like, this is just gold light, this is just love, and I'm just here, and I'm just moving through the motions, and this is gonna be done in no time. Whatever it is that you're like, oh my gosh, like I hate doing this, feel into what's a fun way for you to do it. Can you like bring your favorite drink, some flowers, like have like your crystals, like whatever it is that you can surround yourself with to be like, this gets to be fun too, and I can get this done fast, right? So all of that. Okay, number 6, we talked about the pattern. What is the pattern that you want to create that's going to make you feel like, wow, this feels really solid, good? And that pattern might be like, I'm going to start to write my posts. You're going to do a routine. You might have a routine. And that routine might be like, okay, in the morning, I'm going to do these things to pump up. But I may not do the same things every morning, right? And every day I'm gonna write one email, I'm gonna write one post, I'm gonna do one video, but I may not do them at the same time every day. You give yourself that space. You're like, but you're committed to these 3 things. You're like, okay, the 3 things I'm committed to is I'm gonna post on stories, I'm gonna post on Instagram, I'm gonna whatever it is for you. You might be focused on LinkedIn, Facebook, but you create some kind of consistency so that you are consistent, but also so that your client can feel that vibration coming from you and feel it more consistently. Okay, amazing. Let me know if anyone has any other questions. If not, we are actually going to do a little meditation. I was going to do a body talk session, but I feel like this is more of a meditation. So take some nice deep breaths. Close your eyes. Your business has a legacy. It has a soul, and it has soul guides. Whatever business you have, you came to the planet with an extraordinary heart and with a team of angels and a team of guides. Notice how, regardless of what industry you're in, every person that you've connected with, you've changed their life in some magical way. Now, what would it look like for your business to expand, but for it to feel easier? What would it look like for you to release the lens of the past? This might be how your mom did things, how your dad did things, or how you've seen other people create businesses in the past. What if you allowed this lens to release? And what would happen if you actually allowed your soul to guide you? What if you actually allowed your soul to guide you? Hi, Tina. What if you actually allowed your soul to guide you to how you're supposed to flow now, where you're supposed to be, how your business gets to look now? Feel all the clutter releasing from your third eye. Feel everyone's negative thoughts about you, your business, your ideas just melting out of your system. And feel this very strong gold light nourishing and nurturing you, restoring your vision, restoring your imagination, restoring your direct connection to source. You know exactly how to create your brand. You know your brand story. You know exactly how to market yourself. You know how to create powerful sales. You're so good at it. Feel into what does it feel like to be this new identity that our whole planet is really evolving into. I don't know if you know this, but lots of people are, deciding to be their own entrepreneurs. There's a reason for that. A lot of souls are coming into their own sovereignty, their own power. They're giving themselves their power back. Now, notice in the force field where you are telling yourself a story that someone else is the reason why money comes to you, or someone else someone else knows better about your brand. And feel those stories wash away and connect yourself to your powerful soul. Your soul knows everything. It has all the guidance for you. You can only do it right. The more that your brain waves are congruent and you choose and decide that you're doing it right and you're doing it well, the more you're going to receive that experience of reality. So feel your nervous system updating, feel your soul raising the vibration of your three-dimensional body. Notice your three-dimensional body. Notice the particles shifting. Notice the stories shifting and changing. Notice your DNA and your RNA upgrading. And notice how your 3D body is more of a match to your soul now. Your soul is fast. Your soul is efficient. Your soul knows the fastest path. Feel yourself upgrading and aligning to that, ascending to that. Allow yourself to have this new future. This future, your strongest genuine desire, is actually an energetic match to where the planet wants to go. The planet wants to evolve. Creation is in the business. Universe is in the business of creation. So imagine yourself being this incredibly extraordinary creator. You get to create exactly what you want in life. What does that feel like? What does that look like? And what does it look like to release other people's sound frequencies, their voices out of your ears? Maybe they criticized you. Maybe it was from when you were a little kid or a little girl or a little boy. Notice those sound currents leaving your body and bring in your soul's voice. Your soul's like, let's play. This is so much fun. Life is amazing. Let's do this. Feel that strengthening and feel the guidance from your soul that says, let's do this with our brand now. Let's meet with this photographer. Let's play with these colors. Let's do these, let's play with all of this. Let's try this. Let's do something new. Let's experiment. Let's experiment and experience this. Let's evolve. Connect with your soul guides that are speaking to you, connecting with you, showing you the way. Inhale deeply, hold the breath. Exhale deeply. One more deep inhale, hold the breath. And exhale deeply. And one more deep inhale, hold the breath. And exhale. Yay, beautiful. Thank you so much, love. So this is the conclusion of this day 1 brand energetics. We have 4 more days left, 4 or 5 more. Actually, I think I did a bonus day. So we have 5 more days left. We'll start back. I don't know. I actually have the date somewhere. That's how flow I am. I'm like, oh, calendar, you tell me. So if you are complete with this mastermind, feel free to take off. If you want to come back at 2:22 p.m., Alize is going to be here. And now I'm just going to kind of chat about some of the ways that you could work with me. If you've been tuning into some of my offers, if you're kind of curious, I'm going to kind of chat about that. And then Alize, I'm going to get off here, and Alize is going to come back on at 2:22 p.m. So she's our brand artist specialist. So she's going to dive even deeper into a lot of these things. So yay, awesome. So currently I have 2 amazing masterminds. If you love being in sisterhood, in community, then this is like really great for you. So here's the thing, like you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh gosh, like what was I creating my business again? I literally have clients that are like, it's kind of like you have a little bit of like amnesia or something, and you have to like be reminded. So that's what I love about the mastermind. It's like everyone in these masterminds, like their hearts are so loving. And it would be like being surrounded by like 5 coaches or something. You know, it's like everyone has something phenomenal to share. Everyone wants you to succeed. Everyone wants to see your business glow up, right? So Euphoria Empire Mastermind, this is for my high-level entrepreneurs. Like you're wanting to hit you want to start to move into your $100,000 months. These are women that, you know, either already have a book, are in the process of wanting to write a book, their podcast, like they want their YouTube channel out there. They're pretty like set in their business, but they want to glow up and they want to expand. So my job in in this mastermind specifically is to clean up frequencies, energetics, anything that's not feeling good around that expansion. And so these are very intuitive women. They're really high metaphysical, spiritual teachers and guides that are in this group. It's amazing and it feels so good. And there, the moment you open up the mastermind, you're like, whoa, you feel like you're getting hit by light. It's amazing. And what I love about it is everyone in there has like intuitive insights and business updates, and they're like, you know, like I did this for my mastermind. I had 500 signups here and this is how I did it. So you get to kind of speed evolve. And that's what I love about Euphoria Empire. I also have a mastermind, The Standard, and inside of The Standard, I'm co-creating this with Carissa Dean. And this is a year, well, it's 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. It's a process of getting out of fear and into love. So this is a frequency update. So we're working on shifting your entire hologram of reality so that everything gets to feel like love instead of fear. And this is as simple as going through your physical home space, cleaning up the home space, releasing items that may have been dropping your vibration, going through your online content, seeing if there's anything that like came out with like a survival frequency instead of your faith centers. We start to adjust all of your content so you're creating from your higher centers and you're not creating from neediness and attracting more neediness. We love neediness, but we're evolving out, right? And so that you can start to move into your faith centers and create from your faith centers and like really moving up into those like higher chakras. So those are the 2 masterminds. And I have a ton of online programs that are really fun. If you're just getting started in my world, I would say Cash Codes is really fun. Cash Codes it's a $222 product, but it's so fun with money manifestation. I've had people in just one of the modules in Magic Moolah like manifest 9K 1 hour after watching that. So it's like a fun one. The money codes is also amazing if you want to work through your 7 chakra systems and you want to declutter vows, contracts, ancestral programs, things that could be, you know, holding you back in that way. The money codes is really, really amazing for that. And one of my latest programs is Freedom Energetics. And Freedom Energetics it's one of my latest programs, and it kind of gives you an overall picture of like all of life in a way. It's like, okay, like how can you have more fun on your vacations? Like how can you tap into infinite money? There's different aspects within Freedom Energetics, because I think, you know, for me, I love my mom, but I grew up in a more strict environment. And so I've had to free myself from a lot of limiting beliefs and programs I went to Catholic school for 12 years, so lots of conditioning, and I feel like Freedom Energetics really supports you in like cleaning up a lot of these thought forms so that you can start to see reality in a new way and just like have more fun in life. You know, it's like, I don't know if you've ever had this where you go on a vacation and it's like you should be having fun, but like all these problems are coming up. And that is a nervous system thing. If your nervous system is like, I don't feel safe around change, I don't feel safe around play, then you're not going to be able to have that full experience. So Freedom Energetics goes deep into the subconscious and works on the nervous system, and it helps you to detangle and release micro thought forms so that you can just feel so much more free in life, more liberated. You can travel anywhere and be like, yeah, the whole world is me. Why would I be afraid of myself? I feel safe anywhere I go. So those are some fun things I can tune into. Today I just did a post on Oracle Codes. Oracle Codes is my signature manifestation program, which I love so much. That one was shortly after that I got my first book contract. And essentially it really adjusts the lens in which you see life. It really shows you how everything is a relationship. You know, it's like your relationship with people, your relationship with your vision, your relationship with money, your relationship with your house. Everything is a relationship. And what's your predominant conversation? I'm like, thanks, Elizabeth. She said Freedom Energetics is so fantastic. Yay. So these are some of the fun classes that you get to tap into. So yeah, so Oracle Codes, if you're on this call, I'm going to give you a bonus. If you do buy Oracle Codes, I'm going to offer a 60-minute free call with me, a free activation session with me. So just message me and say you were in this class and you just got Oracle Codes, and this is a bonus just coming in right now. So these are the fun ways, and I'm so excited to have you in my world, and we have so many more days of this. I'm sure some new bonuses will pop in. This is what I have for you today. But as we move through, I'm sure for sure. Actually, you know what? I was filming all week. Usually I'm much more prepped for this, but like all week I was filming in Malibu for like me and Lotus's program. So I didn't have as much prep time for this one. So if you do decide to sign up for Euphoria Empire by Monday, I'll take $1,000 off, and I can do $500 off for the standard. So let me know. Let me know if you're on this class and if you sign up for either of those, and I can create a coupon for you. That's what I'm going to do, create a coupon code for you. So, okay, loves, take some nice deep breaths. Let's seal it up. Inhale deeply, hold the breath. Feel sparkles all over your body. Connect to your highest timeline, your highest expression of reality. Notice that it's so available for you. You get to have it now. Inhale into it, breathe into it, hold the breath, and exhale. Yay, loves. Thank you so much for being here, and for some of you, I will see you at 2:22 p.m. PST.